I'm Angela Wolf. I'm a fashion designer and online instructor, and today I'm going to talk about needle felting. Something a little bit more than texting gloves. These are really fun, by the way. So traditionally in needle felting, you'll start with, well, this is a piece of fleece, but usually you would start with wool, something like that. This is wool roving, and wool roving, you would just take pieces, throw it all over here, all different colors. See how this stuff just falls apart? And that's how I came up with my gloves. But I want to do something a little bit more classy. So how about silk Dupioni? Take a look at these jackets. This right here, the original fabric, is this. We all know silk Dupioni is a beautiful, expensive fabric, but this gave it a this look could be casual or dressy. This is all needle felted with a bias ribbing around the edge. See the back? That is really fun. This top literally took me less than an hour to make. I just serged the seams. You could also do French seams if you want, and little cap sleeves. So what's this jacket over here? This is the same fabric, believe it or not, but I had it in the window of my studio on a mannequin. And although the people driving by enjoyed it, the sun did not. So it actually faded it. But I've kept it because it's lined with expensive silk charmeuse. And then when I found this technique, I thought, this is great. So I already started needle felting through here, and then even along the back. Still doesn't look so good. So I'm going to eventually buy some black and attach it to here. And I'll show you what that looks like with the purple, but you can combine different colors. So let's see how this is done. So this is how the silk Dupioni starts. And needle felting, you can either use a machine or they have little hand ones. The hand ones might take a while if you're doing a whole garment. But look at this. Here's this fabric, and look at this needle felted. Both sides bring on a different color. The top side pushes the fabric fibers through to the back side. So you can see on the back side there's a lot of loops and other colors, even some black in here. I really like this. In fact, I could see this as a pillow. That would be really fun. Okay, then we have, here's purple, Dupioni. Again, one side brings on these weird loops. This is the front side. So it wrinkles up the fabric. So one thing to keep in mind is you need to make this fabric before you cut out your outfit. And this is why. These two sleeves here started from the original size that would go around my arm. Well, let me just give you a little hint here. It's not working. So I had to cut out larger sleeves, do the needle felting, and then came up with my top. So do the fabric first. It's kind of like designing fabric first and then cutting out your pattern. Here's silk chiffon. This is really neat as well. And what you do after you do this, you press it. And that's what gives it the nice look like this. So we're gonna go over to the needle felting machine, but before I do, I wanna show you two more fabrics. I was just playing around with the purple and the green. Like I mentioned on that other jacket, I would like to add black or some other color to it so it really doesn't look like it was faded from the sun. So I started with a little bit, I put two pieces together. You can see the back gets a little furry. And the front brings on a real neat effect. So I got carried away and grabbed a bigger piece of fabric, and look at this. There's no rhyme or reason for my pattern, although on this piece, you can see I kind of did an exact pattern or something with the squiggle lines. This one, I just needle felted everywhere, left spaces open, and this was all bubbly, and as soon as you press it, it lays flat like this. So let's go to the needle felting machine. This is how easy this is. You take the fabric, let's just start with this one. And what this is there's quite a few needles here that just embed the fabric. So there's a hole that the needles go down into, and hold your fabric tight. It's really important in your stance. Don't be real tight, you'll get a backache or a neck ache. So just hold your fabric kind of tight. You don't want it to get like this or it'll go down that hole. And don't get too close to the edge, so give yourself a pretty good allowance. One more thing is keep your fingers away from here. That is really, really important. So I put my presser foot down and just start. I'll do a couple and see what happens. it pushes the fabric to the wrong side and makes little puckers. Do a few more. I'm just going to do a few here. And you can go at a pretty fast speed on this. Just get it going. Maybe you want to do a design. Like I said, there's nothing magical about this. Notice the fabric's puckering. This is the one time you're sewing, it's okay to have puckered fabric. Pretty neat. Let's just go to the iron and see what happens. Minus a little water there. See how that flattened everything out? So you're making your own fabric from silk Dupioni. Let's look at the two colors together. The beautiful part about silk is it's breathable. You can do so much with it. I love silk Dupioni. I usually back it with cotton, but with this technique, I don't even have to because it gives such a different hand to the fabric. Let me just grab the scissors here. I just want to cut. I'm going to show you how I combine two fabrics. Just start by making, and then get the fabric going, and then keep it going. The idea is to attach the entire top piece of fabric to the bottom piece of fabric. Let's see. That's what I was talking about. Don't let it go in the hole. Not that it matters, but you just don't want to do that. I'm holding it tight, getting around this fabric. And take a look. See how it's all wrinkly like that? Well, that's how we got that effect on that piece of fabric I showed you. So let's just start again. I'm going towards the end this time of the green fabric. Another great feature of this silk is it's a natural fiber, so when you press it, it really changes things, unlike a polyester. Okay, pull that out of the hole. And I'll be able to cut off any loose threads that are sticking out. Around the edges. We'll kind of blend it in with the purple so it looks like it's supposed to be part of the fabric. Again, pull it out of the hole. And let's just do a few more, and then we'll go press this. And now I'm just going to do a little bit on the purple. You can see how when you get going on this, you can do an entire piece of fabric in no time at all. Okay, it's a little bit of a wrinkled mess. Got threads hanging out here, which you'll be able to cut off quite easily. Let's go to the pressing. The pressing is really what makes the magic of this silk. I know what you're thinking. I can't believe you're pressing silk Dupioni from the right side. Well, that's part of the look of this fabric. So see what's happened here? So I will continue to go around these edges, make this really secure. Let's see if I can just, and you can go over and over and over. In fact, that green top that I have up there, I needle felted throughout the entire thing, tried it on after I pressed it, and I found a few spaces that needed more. That's the beauty of needle felting. You can keep it going. So silk Dupioni, any type of silk is really fun, but this one really takes the cake. One more thing about these texting gloves. This is wool roving, like I mentioned, and I just want to show you a quick, this is all that happens. The same technique, they're going back and forth, embedding that into the, like I said, this is just polar fleece. See what happens? So these gloves, which are very fun, which this pattern is on the website. So I hope that this has given you some really good ideas for creating your own fabric. Needle felting, a whole new dimension.